Some respect. I think it's time for reality check. Reality check. Respect. It's time for reality check. Reality check. Reality check.
You know, it's what's going on here. You know, it's what's going on here. This is you know, it's what's going on here. It doesn't want to stop.
That must mean we have a hell of a show for them tonight, because it's like reminder, you're gonna get smacked tonight.
It is. I don't know. It's a reality. That's because we talking about. What is this? Do you hear?
Not anymore.
Okay. You know, it seems like I guess what it is that we're I don't know. Some things don't want to be perfect. You know, just like whenever I write an article, whenever I write a book, it's always some mistake in it.
Like a typo, like a editor didn't catch it, or you didn't catch it, or.
That's right.
What do you think that is?
I don't know. I wonder should I go and come back in?
It's still echoing.
I think it's just fate. See, just like now. But if I go out, I might not be able to get back in.
Well, Peace Jay, Brilliance first, Doravelle. We have some technical difficulties because, I don't know, divine intervention maybe. And then there was one tonight. Yeah, I didn't hear the echo anymore either, but I did hear the echo at the intro. So, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back, but yeah. But we.
Do you have the tab open somewhere else?
Let me see. No. No. Oh. It was open somewhere else. Dun, dun, dun. See, that's what happens. Thank you. See, gentlemen, family out there, how you doing, JP? What up, though? The other day I was talking to JP and her sister. You know, those are some creative young ladies. You know, how you doing, Dorville? Create so far. You know, what up, though? You know, that's the whole point. See, this is a thing. Yoshimod is a lot of times he's on TikTok. So he wanted me to come on TikTok so I could talk about this or talk about that. But I don't really understand it. I don't understand it much. I know you probably go to TikTok. I mean, you're a Twitter superstar. So I mean, hey, you know that you're so well known on Twitter. But again, it's very interesting. I know a lot of people, family. you guys out there, I know you're saying, what the hell is wrong with Dr. Winters? Why would Dr. Winters have a roach? The most hated, the most hated, the most hated insect in the black community is a roach. You know, I remember when I was teaching sixth grade, and it was a girl. She's a nasty girl. She's probably a nasty adult today, and she would always put a lot of food in her desk, and for the first time ever, the roaches would be coming out of her duffel bag and her and out of the desk and I used to try to get Janet, the custodian, to come in there and fix it up. And, I mean, I had to believe that she was like Sexy Red. Sexy Red had to go to the doctor because she said she was stinking. But I mean, hell, if you got chlamydia or some other stuff, wash up.
Yeah.
Wash up. My mother and other women, they taught their daughters that you got to wash up with two face towels. You don't take the same one you use in the front for the back. I don't understand. I don't understand. Now I did understand one thing. I did hate. I taught sixth grade. So in sixth grade, most time the girls are either 11 or 12, and around 11 or 12 is when they get their first menstrual, and and sometimes some of the girls would be really they think they were dying, because some of them, and this is it. Even in the 2000s, a lot of parents were not talking to their daughters. That one day they would be having a menstrual, and as a result, in a sense, a lot of times these girls, they'd be shocked not to help, office, help me.
That's
I'm a man, help me.
No, that's a very real problem that people are having, not having these conversations. I like to say it's because they don't have the time. We are inundated with responsibilities and different things that we're told we have to do, and then things start slipping through the cracks. And you might not have thought your daughter was ready for the birds and the bees conversation, but her body is going to start doing things before you think that she's ready to have these conversations. And if she's not prepared, she's dying because she's bleeding and it won't stop. And it's got to be a mind fuck. And I feel for those little girls out there. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then mamas always say, instead of mamas saying you should not have sexual intercourse, until you're able to take care of your children. It'll say keep your skirt down. What the hell is this? Some girls might say, why should I keep my skirt down? Why keep my get into it, But what I found, and it's very interesting. I found a lot of times women don't want to be talking seriously with their daughters. They don't want to really be preparing them. And so when people saying, why did you want to do this thing, Roach Resilience? The whole point is that when you think about a roach is a tough customer. A roach is a tough customer. If you ignore a roach, before you know it, they will over your. They will be coming out of. It will be coming out of everywhere, and so when people got roaches, you don't even invite them over to your house. And if you do have a party, you want to get that coat and you want to take that coat you say, I'll hang up your coat, and then you back porch and hit it on the damn fence and wall. Well, please don't bring any roaches in your coat. But
that's tough, because I think roaches get a bad rap because they are associated with filth and dirt and grime and hoarding, like you said, the little girl with the snacks in her desk. And I can't help but make a connection to the Black community. And it's something that I said a long time ago, that some people are out here living in a roach existence. They've got roach resilience, but I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing, as much as I know I want to talk about it, because in this research about roaches, if they've been here for all of the hundreds of million years that science dates them for being here, and they're not the oldest creature on the planet. There are species older than, then what are we missing about, this insect or this creature? And just like Black people always get a bad rap, we have a lot of bad stereotypes that people want to always dish on us or label us with. That's not all of us. It is a category, an aspect, a trait that some people could have, but is it bigger than? And then the fact that people always say it's Black people who have roaches, when I've seen poverty can create all sorts of really nasty conditions for the people living in poverty, not Black people. And then whoa, some Black people can live in those conditions and still not have those problems. What's that about? So I wonder if there's a deeper connection, because if everything on the planet has a purpose, and I'm learning, right? Because I don't know what mosquitoes' purposes are. That one I don't know. But roaches, they seem like cleaners. They help with the soil. They help things get fertilized. They help with the decomposition. They are a food source for things. So there's like 3 things that roaches do that aren't messing with us, right?
But you feel that you've been taught. I don't know about you, but you've been taught that if you have roaches in your house, in a way, that's a sign that you're supposed to be nasty. It's a sign that it's supposed to reflect your upbringing, and stuff like that.
Yes,
but
that is definitely what I've been taught, and just have seen. If a person has roaches, their house is not as clean as it could be. Maybe you live in an apartment though, and the apartment has roaches. Your apartment is clean, but your surroundings have it. So that's like not you, that's where you live, and then you do the best you can. So
and and then what makes it so bad is that is that you can live in an apartment, and your house it'll be looking really cool, then you turn off the lights, bam, out of nowhere they just come rushing. Hey, I'm here, here I am. It was a place, when I was a freshman, at university, I came home, and my parents had moved from where we had lived for about 5 years. They lived on a place on 39th Street. And boy, when you turn the lights off, boy, those roaches would just come out of nowhere and stuff. But that was, I came home in December, but by May, they had moved somewhere else. But I'll never forget that night. That night I was trying to go to sleep, and I turned off the light, and then they played hide and seek with my ass. I said, damn, what the hell is this? But then in a sense, I understand why white people, though, to Caucasians, they see us as roaches. They see us as roaches. And the reason they see us as roaches is that they see us as unstoppable. They see us in a sense as having resilience. They see us in a sense as no matter what they do, that we find a way. We find a way. We find a way to go around them. But we don't see a roach as a historic figure. But to them, we are so dangerous, because to them we represent those roaches. We represent those things that get on their nerves, and it's hard to get rid of them. It's hard to keep them down. And that's one of the reasons why they see us like that. And they're hoping every day, they're hoping that they can have a plague. They brought the pandemic. They said, okay, we're going to bring the pandemic, and it's going to kill all the Black people. But all it killed was light-skinned folk, Mexicans and Caucasians, and then old black folk that already had heart trouble and diabetes and high blood pressure. Those are the ones they killed. Old Black folk who were going to die anyway.
Right.
And so then, but they killed young. I mean, even today, many of them that are getting the updated versions, they're dying. They're having heart attacks.
Right.
They're having heart attacks. We know that football player that he had the venom, and that's why he had a heart attack on the field.
On the field, right?
Yeah, and so then because see the thing is this and that I know it's this doctor. It's this doctor. He's a British doctor. I look at him. I look at this stuff every now and then, and he's been recording these deaths of people in a sense. Over in England, he talks about the fact that so many people that are dying that's not supposed to die after they've taken the venom. And then but see, people just don't understand. People just don't understand that 99% of your DNA, 99% of your DNA is uncoded. They call it junk DNA. And see that since 99% is uncoded, that means it's waiting to be coded. You can code it either through social epigenetics, you can do it through social epigenetics, you can do it through medical epigenetics. And so that and now I don't know what to do because I know when my kids had to take the shot because they they work for the post office, the county, and the police department, so they had to take the venom. But it was lucky because they could get the regular stuff back then. But now they ain't got rid of all the regular stuff, and now everything is rDNA. They're even trying to make the flu shot rDNA. And see, and I don't understand, but see, these people, they don't care. They don't even care that they're messing with their DNA. You don't want to mess with the DNA.
Right.
No,
they definitely want to mess with their DNA. They're trying to figure out how they can get the goods. They say that you can extract melanin and it costs a pretty penny on the black market. And those aren't environments that I frequent or anything. So I really wouldn't have a clue. This is just what I've heard. But
the dark web.
But look, inside of that though, they don't care, because if you think about roaches and like how you would get rid of them, the reason that they have such a bad rap is you can spray them and they won't die. So then what are we spraying into the air? They'll tell us in the same conversation that aerosols are killing the ozone, but then they're making all of these products that are aerosol based. And for what? Because they don't care about the consequences of their actions as much as they just want to eradicate whatever the problem is they think that they're having. So rDNA experiments sounds like roach spray 2.0 to me.
It is because I remember the first course I took when I was at university, and we had to take a biology course, and that's what the biology course talked about, was the fact that it was so that women, in a sense, they were finding that their breast was containing so much insecticide. And it was coming from the environment. This was in 1969, and so now look, now we're not only being, in a sense, contaminated by pesticides and stuff. Now they say that we've got microplastics in our bodies.
Yep.
Every time I think about that, microplastics, that's a trip.
It is, because it's when they were saying that the experiments were reacting to the things that we're already doing, and then they start listing things like shampoo, conditioner, hair supplies, products, cleaning products, soaps, and just things that we use on our body or things that we're already eating. What are these bioengineered ingredients that they're labeling natural spices? They're saying it's proprietary blended, but is it, or is the proprietary blend have some stuff in it that maybe you wouldn't want to read on the back of your cereal box? And then, maybe you wouldn't be eating.
What about organic stuff? The organic stuff's supposed to be good,
Well, now you've got corporations who will pay for an organic label, and I don't trust anything if they've sold it to me. And then from there, seeds, right? We grow food. Do I trust the seeds because I had to buy it from them? And here's the seeds that I trust. At the grocery store, when you go buy something and it has seeds in it, they're not expecting those seeds to grow. Those are the seeds I trust. Outside of that, I don't know, because it seems like they're all in it together. And if they're all in it together, then it doesn't really matter if I try to remove myself from one system or not. They say don't use fluoride because it's going to calcify your pineal gland. But then you've got fluoride in your tap water. So then, okay, now I got to change my water system in my house, and I have to cook with spring water. I got to get a Kagan distilled water system. I got to buy it from them. They're all in it together, doctor.
They don't know. We're not supposed to know that. We're supposed to feel that when they say it's organic, it's organic. Really? when they say that we should be vegetarians, just do that and it'll be okay. No, everything is ucked up over here. The Europeans will not eat our food. They will not eat our food.
They won't.
They will not eat our food.
There's
nothing about bread.
I saw the study with Aldi's, and just it was like oatmeal. It was strawberries and cream oatmeal by Quaker Oats at Aldi in Germany versus Aldi in New York, and it's like 12 different ingredients in the American version, and in Europe it's strawberries, oats, milk, and sugar. There's like 4 ingredients. You can pronounce all of them. There are no additives. They're not adding nutrients or vitamins or minerals or anything. No, you want strawberries and cream oatmeal. Okay, here's strawberries and cream oatmeal by the same company. So they know what they're doing, or they just don't care about us. And since they're not like us, I know they don't care about us, but they don't care about each other either.
They don't care about nobody. They're not like us. They don't care about nobody. And that's what makes it so terrible, is that you wish sometimes that you could say, damn, that with the pandemic, I can say they aimed that at us. But a lot of times they don't care. They don't care who they bring down. I don't care if it's their own people or whatever.
Right.
But then again, in a sense, is that the only thing that saves us is melanin. And that is because of the fact that we're like plants. That's why we talk about synthesis. We're like the plants. The plants, they in a sense, they get minerals from the soil. But in a sense, it's through that solar energy that allows them to reproduce and to grow. And so then that's in the sense that they haven't used nuclear bombs, because I really believe they've done tests, and they know that if they use a nuclear bomb, the only people that will be left on the earth is black people. Yeah.
And roaches.
Have you ever thought about why? Because see, if you're not at 0.0, your melanin is going to absorb it. It's going to absorb it. It's going to absorb it. And see, the whole point is that it is so much in science that they don't know, because they teach you as though they know everything, and they don't know everything. And not only they don't know everything, but they have a way that if you allow university people, see, they're big heads. See, their big heads are all at universities, but they don't have natural intelligence, natural knowledge. Whereas in a sense, our big heads don't usually go to university, because when we go to university, most of the time we become dull. Yes. Most of the time we become dull. Most of the time we lose our senses, and that's very difficult. Like I was talking to my grandson, and so I was talking about the fact is that just about all black people work for the government. I said, except for you. and he said, what do you mean? I said, well, you have a job. You're working in the tech field. You're working with computers and all that type of stuff. But I said the vast majority of us, we work for the government office, the Cook County, the county government, the city government. A teacher is a government official.
And teachers, post office, and contract work right now can extend to anything. You could be a janitor, work for the government. You can be a chef, work for the government, because you are chefing at the Department of Defense or at a prison. But some prisons are privately owned, so I'm not saying all, but a lot
they only hire Nigerians. The private prisons down in Texas and all, they hire Nigerians so they can beat that Negro head. These are Black Americans need to be beaten in the head. I don't know. It is so crazy. It is so crazy. And so when you talk about Roach Resilience, you know that I know they said this new Good Time show, and I saw an ad for it. I didn't look at the show, but one of the ad is a brother having a shower, and he's talking to a roach.
Singing to the roach.
And so it's all these in a sense memes that relate to this. But then when you think about it, I mean, now everywhere you go, I rarely see roaches now, but back in the day, I used to see roaches everywhere. And the reason you used to see roaches everywhere is that we lived in kind of crummy apartments. We lived in tenements, and these tenements were terrible. And I mean, hell, I'll never forget that my sister's favorite dress, a rat had dragged into the hole at the rat hole, and I saw it at the rat hole. I mean, come on now, you saw Michael Jackson in Being. I want my rat to be with me. Oh, I love my rat because he's a he, she. Oh, the rat will grab my sister dress. I always think of that my sister had a dress and a rat. They found it in the rat hole.
That is so funny. But no, I mean, I thought that was offensive, but I also, Seth MacFarlane, that's the guy from Family Guy. Some TV humor is supposed to be offensive. Like, that's the whole gimmick, is they're going to go for extremes. Inside of that, there is an audience there, so I can't say that there's not. Is it my cup of tea? No, I thought it was offensive, right? But I do like some offensive stuff. So I'm kind of in the gray about this stuff. But
it didn't work, though. A lot of people wouldn't look at it.
No, because they thought that we were going to think it was funny. They did it as offensive, but they tried to be nice about it. Oh, he's singing with the roach. It's not like the roach is taking over. But when I was little, the movie that I saw that showed me roaches, because that's not my experience. Maybe a blocked out memory from early childhood, maybe. But
you blocked it out.
Oh yeah, no, just turn that shit off. No, I'm just no, that's not how I grew up. I know people who've grown up with roaches. My grandma's house had roaches, but Joe's Apartment. Do you remember that movie that came out in the 90s? It was a white guy, and he lived in a nasty ass apartment. And what y'all have been saying in the chat, you turn the lights off and the roaches come to party. I watched that movie as a child, and it freaked me out beyond belief. And then, okay, so that's like, put that there in the 90s category. Mm-hmm. Jump to today. I can easily go on Facebook and find white girls having roaches as pets in boxes. And it all started with this little white girl who, her parents thought it was a strange habit for her to collect roaches. But I'm like, where is she getting these roaches? And then why are y'all letting them in the house? And why is it a pet? And why is this okay? But okay, maybe I'm not thinking about it the right way. And I don't think I was thinking about it the wrong way, because none of the minis should come in here saying that they want roaches for pets. Like, if you want a bug, maybe we go like a spider, maybe, or
a lightning bug. Lightning bug,
right? Hey, I'm cool. We did that. We caught lightning bugs outside.
Grasshoppers back in the day. We caught grasshoppers, lightning bugs. Put them in a jar.
Yeah. No,
but nobody wanted roaches.
No, nobody was catching roaches. But these white people do the strangest things. And then I find that the spicy whites that like peppers and rice and beans, they fester like these roaches that they keep calling us. I've always heard that be a denigrating term for blacks, but then maybe it's not just us. That's why they try to go black and brown. They want us to associate with the cockroach, and that's not us. That might
maybe that's what they're talking about, the browns who are our allies, because it's definitely not the Latinos. They're not our allies.
No, but the roach, as bad of a rap as it has, they do move things around. They make it an environment for things to start anew. And I'm sorry, I can't help but make a positive connection to it. But then I wanted to know about, like, why aren't there any roach gods? So, I teach at a black school, and we talk about the Necharu, and, you've got Kepper, the beetle, so then there's different deities that are associated with nature, and there's not one for roaches, but it's been around longer than the beetle. So then something in my Google search said something about the yellow emperor eating a roach to maintain mortality. It's like, well, if they've got an immortality streak in there, then where did the negative come from? You know, where did the bad juju come from? Why?
Well, because you associate it with I mean, now you can rarely go and find roaches in most people's houses, but but back in the tenement days, they just was in the tenements. They were the apartments you moved into. You could be clean as hell, and they would still be there because the buildings were so infested, and they didn't have the right pesticides and things like that, and because of that factor, in the sense you had it. Just like now, I used to have sinus trouble when I was growing up, and it was something that they put in the mattress that my mother would if you had an old mattress, you could take some of the cotton out and it would relieve your headaches. Now you smoke with those mattresses made of, your ass is dead. But it's just amazing how things were there. But then in a sense, there's roaches, the roaches, because see, I mean, most black people, once they got an apartment, they cleaned the roaches were eliminated. Period. That was it. And and the thing is, this is that but there was some resilience in the roach. When you think about it, just like it's very hard. How you doing, JP, Jalen? How you doing? And the rest of you guys, Create So Far. The thing is, this is that, and Create So, is that it's so much. It is so much that we do. And Tones Fire, how you doing too? And so then, but the thing is, this is that it is so much that we really don't understand. Because we give a lot of credit to the ant, and we talk about how strong the ant is, and we talk about, in the sense that the ant is there. Now if you're black and you see an ant in your house over the summer, you say, "Oh, that means I'm not going to have any money." Because when ants in your house, you're not going to have any money. But then again, in a sense, it's funny how the roach was so much associated with black life growing up in the 60s, and a little bit in the 60s and 70s, but as the tenements got knocked down and stuff, as the tenements got knocked down, they didn't go. When I was at Illinois back in the 70s, I was at University of Illinois, and and then the cockroaches, they would march down the sidewalk at night, like armies, and then go into apartments and stuff. And but the cockroach, I mean, damn, they're about this big and stuff. And so then, but those European roaches, I mean, hey, they the friends of the Caucasian. I mean, they're the ones who brought them here from Europe, and they multiply. But then, in a sense, you look at them and you think about the fact that they teach you. Now most of us, in a sense, don't see roaches. I mean, many of our kids wouldn't even know how a roach looked, I think, because we've done a good job of spraying and getting rid of them. But they must have had a purpose, because they're always around people. So then were they our enemies? I don't know. Because they were, but again, I think it's because we saw them as pests. But I mean, just like people saw bees as pests, and they saw other insects, but now we know that they pollinate the flowers. So right. were they pollinating niggas and stuff? I don't know what they was doing, but they were there,
It's funny.
And so
what we were talking about earlier, though, or at least here at home, we were talking about the purpose of, I'm realizing that if it's here on the planet, there's a reason for it. There is nothing on this planet that's just happenstance. And then there are things that people just create just to be out here. But I don't know that the roach has that story. And then from there, is it a pest? Sure, it can be. Just like anything that we just talked about, a bee, an ant, a fly, a gnat. You don't want one fly in your house.
Yeah.
And they don't have the same rap that a roach does. But it could be worse, right? Because
even with that fly, Even with that fly, you see him like I got a deck, and so then I look out the window. I see those flies out there. You can't get through the screen door. I'm lucky. But then all of a sudden, one day when Amazon delivers one of my books that I ordered, I leave the door open. The next thing I know, there's flies, and damn, damn, they came with Amazon.
But that's it. It could be self-inflicted. Maybe all of it is self-inflicted, and maybe the conditions were supposed to push us away from doing anything productive because we're having to deal with so many pests. Yeah. Could the pest be planted? I don't know, because I keep hearing German cockroach, and that's like, okay, if you
got Deutsch. Heil Hitler. Heil Hitler.
Like, if y'all came on the boat, with them, why are y'all associating them with us? We're not German, but y'all don't have that rap. Germans don't have a bad rap for having roaches, but Black people, the most clean people in the damn country,
right,
we're the ones who have the association with the nasty bug. So then maybe is the bug not a nasty bug, or is it, is this one of those terms where we're going to have to change the lexicon because the spelling matters?
And it was location. Location is everything, because I mean now you go to people's houses, and once we moved out of the tenements, because many places in Chicago, 39 to 47 people lived in there in those tenements, and originally they had been lived in by Caucasians, and we moved in, and they had become homesteaders, just like the American government gave European Caucasians land, then they also gave the European roach the right to buy Negroes and stuff.
The right to abode with them niggas down there.
That's right, the right to abode. I like that. That sounds legal. Now, are you going to law school now? I think so. But again, in the sense is that roach is an interesting figure. It's an interesting figure, but the point is this: is that I think that when they made the new program, Good Times, and they put that roach in the thing, and Foundation of Black Americans, then go look at that mess. They didn't even touch it because that's not us. That's not us. That's not part of us. And they made a meme. They made a meme become more than just a meme. So many memes today, and and they're so busy trying, in a sense, to put us down, and then therefore they won't work. Like I noticed, I didn't really notice it till Tarika and she brought it up, but I've been noticing how a lot of movies, when a lot of foreigners play in them, not all the foreigners, but when a lot of Black British people play in them, a lot of those movies don't do well. Or a lot of those TV shows and movies have been taken off, and because the fact is this is that, as Tariq says, a lot of times they can't put that emotion in it. They can't put that feeling in it, and it's interesting. I'm going all off the subject. Just like I was looking at that Shay Shay and looking at his interviews when he talked to sisters and he talked to brothers, and then sometimes you find out that people are much deeper. That we're a deeper people. We're a deeper people than we're presented by books and magazines and stuff. And because the fact when you really talk to them, just like what's her name, the Stallion, with her sexy ass. But anyway, just like the Stallion, you look at her and then you say, but then when you catch them off guard and they talk about, we're very intelligent people, very intelligent, very creative. And the thing is this, though, is that we're sometimes, just like now they're trying to play up, Suki Hana and Sexy Red talking about she got to go because she's stinking, got to go to the doctor. Why are you going to make a video like that? Why are you going to make a video like that? Why are you going to make a video and you're going to tell people you're stinking and you got to go to the doctor to find out? Damn, nobody would do that. I was growing up, no girl would do that. But, I didn't like it. I didn't like it in the 90s, in the thousands. Then a lot of sisters started saying, "Okay, bitch, what about? Wait, what are you doing?" And you know, when you was in college, that was popular around the time you was in college. Calling each other bitches. Why you calling each other bitches? You know. And then it's just sad that we allow, in a sense, ourselves to be to let others define us. You know, I think that's why people don't. That's why a lot of people do not want to go with FBA, because this is the first time that we've ever tried to define ourselves.
Yes.
Delineate.
That oh, you spoke a tantalizing word right there. There's people out here who will be contrary for contrary's sake. Not
Right.
for any other reason, not because we're wrong, not because they have an alternate, but just because they don't want to agree. You know, there's always going to be one. It's like when people say, well, we're always going to have problems. I don't know if I agree with that, as much as we're always going to have problems that people create.
Yeah.
You create a problem, then there
Just
are problems, right?
just like they say that lovers are supposed to fight, and then they have on TV, "Oh, I'm fighting," and I love the makeup. I didn't have a lot of arguments with my wife, but when my wife was mad at my ass, "You're not making up with her." I don't know about you. Maybe you say, "Oh, it's time to make up, partner. We're gonna just have mad sex." Hell no, hell no. You're mad. You're mad, and when you're mad, that's it. That's it. Forget about that. Unless you talk it out, you can talk it out that night, and then maybe in a couple of days. But it ain't like they put in the movies. No, no, no. When your baby's mad at your ass, she's mad at you, and that's that. That's that. That's that.
Line in the sand. That's no, that's true. And Nadi, I've been laughing so hard at what you said in the chat, because you said that the roaches come out when you have company. So, it's like even the roach knows its job is to make people uncomfortable, because clearly if we're not seeing you and you're here, and then that, oh, it's some special people coming over today, maybe they think that they about to catch a ride to a new location or something. I don't know. It's the air smells different or something. I don't know.
But if you notice, it was mainly the down. Like I notice now, most of the many of the like in Chicago, many of the black people that lived in the inner city, they have moved out. Now the white people moving in to those buildings that are left, that they've been remodeled and all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. But again, just like in Chicago, the Chicago area, the southern suburbs is just all black. All black and stuff. But people have different attitudes. Craig so far says, when I was little, the movie that showed me roaches was Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and A Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, I used to Nightmare on Elm Street. I used to hate to go to theaters with that show, because I could feel it. I could feel it looked like back when Elm Street was at the theaters. It was like you could feel it. At least to me, it felt like you could feel it.
When scary movies were scary and not just super gory, because you had to have a storyline and, follow them down the road. No, I forgot about that one. So that was a good one, Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know if I remember Indiana Jones, but I kept thinking about, so while I'm researching roaches and I'm finding that they help with the decomposition and moving dead things around, I thought about the scarab and the beetle, and, they're relatives, related kind of, but still the beetle doesn't have such a bad rap. And I really just think it's because they wanted to make it something that they could attach to us. And then if we never take it off, then it'll be an indefinite identification. Like in the chat, first to let a rhyme. That's I think Raheem. He said, didn't we define ourselves when we labeled ourselves African American? No, I would say that term is just like roach being associated with us, because we didn't do that. As much as I don't know if we had a chance to think about that stuff at the same time. our interests are being pulled in all these different directions, and we're being told that we're fighting for civil rights, equality, and that's a lot of different sides of the argument where, are we getting tangibles, or are we going the symbolic route, or is the symbol tangible enough? And then, the people who said, yeah, we're going to go with African American, I don't think they had the general population's consent to do that. They just
didn't.
Said, we're just going to do it. So that's what y'all need to be called now, right?
Yeah, they've always wanted to push us in that African direction, because the fact that, see, here's the whole point. See, I know every week, family, you guys get tired of me saying this, but that Foundation of Black Americans are the majority population in America. So you can believe whatever you want to believe, and you can believe you're in a minority, but we are the majority. That's one of the reasons why they spend so much time worried about us. They spend so much time wanting to know how we're going to vote. They spend so much time. You see how when Obama was running for president, he was elected twice. And it wasn't because of white folks. It was that then black people in the South decided, I'll vote for something because, I want to see that black face in there. And so then you had to understand, in a sense, is that the European, he hates you. And those black people, in a sense, who know that we're the majority, they hate you too. And they hate you because they don't want the white people to know that we're the majority, because then they might not get the goodies. Yeah, as Professor Black say, they throw their tools out when they've used them up. They throw their tools out, but it's a good run for those people who are kissing that butt, who are living up to those things, living up to that. And see, the whole idea, you have to stay in this imaginary field. Just like now, the vast majority of white people still think that most of us are on aid. They still think that most of us are living on food stamps. There's a lot of people that get food stamps, but many of them are working, but they still can get a little food stamps. But and so then they have this false idea that we're just all living among roaches now. No, we've solved a roach problem a long time ago.
That's
with insecticides.
And they are the ones with the government resource benefit.
Right.
They're the ones getting the food stamps, and they're the ones doing all of these things. They're the ones aborting, killing all the babies. It's all of the negative stereotypes. If Black America doesn't take that shit off, we will carry it into the next century. And I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want African American. I don't want the roach. I like resilience. I don't like the negative associations, and if we're going to remove the negative associations, and maybe roaches need to get a fighting chance too. They ain't do nothing to nobody, but see,
they want to characterize us as roaches because the thing is this, is that they love that roach analogy, and they want you to in a sense act like a roach. And what do roaches do? When roaches see light, they run, and that's what they want us to do, is to see the problem that white people have with us over in America is because of the fact that we went through an ethnogenesis. I know people don't want to hear it, but we went through an ethnogenesis. And because of the fact that we're three nationalities that were mainly, in a sense, prisoners of war. The Aboriginals, they were captured in war and put on the plantation. The Black Irish, 300,000 of them were captured and put on plantations. The so-called 200,000 sub-Saharan Africans, they were captured and put on plantations. So all we know how to do is to fight. The only satisfaction a black man has is his woman shaft. The only but that is so true. The only thing that a black man has, if he's smart, is his woman. Because the thing is this, is that she can understand you, maybe, and maybe y'all can get along, maybe you won't get along, but it's very complicated, and the complication comes from the fact is that you got two opposing forces. You got your mama telling her daughters, you got to be responsible, be prepared, you got to be ready to take care of yourself, and then you got your daddy saying, don't listen to your wife because she's trying to be like your mama. Don't let that sci-fi tell you what to do. And so, so you got these competing things. So you have to, in a sense, push both of them out. You got to force both of them out, And see, luckily, me and my wife, luckily, I was able, in a sense, to fall in love, and I'm happy I fell in love. And I'll admit, in a sense, is that by falling in love, it stopped me. It stopped me from a lot of stuff. Because if I wouldn't have fell in love, I would have went to college. My wife say I would have went to college and been a stuck-up nigga because I would have thought I was better than everybody. She said she made me get down to earth, but I don't know about all that. But in a way, because I fell in love, then that made me want to do everything I could to give my woman what I felt that she deserved, or that she, even more than I felt that she deserved. See, because the fact, in a sense, is that I fell in love. Yeah, I got married young, so I didn't maybe get a chance to go to Africa. And in marrying young, in a sense, it kept a lot of money. It kept a lot of money away from me, but I had a lot of love. I remember I used to look at my horoscope back in the day, and it would say, "You got $1 million. You're rich. You're rich." And I say, "Damn, baby, look at this shit. They're talking about I'm rich. I ain't got damn money. Got $1 million in love with me." I said, "Oh." I said, "Yeah, that is true. That is true." See, and that is the thing that the European has always understood, and he's always noticed. See, he wants us to be like roaches. He wants us to be individuals. He wants us, in a sense, to run whenever we see each other. He wants us to be afraid of each other. He wants us to only come together and just mate and maybe have a baby, and then move away from each other. Because he knows, in a sense, that if I'm with you and if we're a black man and a black woman together, damn it, we're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. And see, that's why they do everything they can to limit, and because they know who the dynamic duo is. The dynamic duo is you and your partner. That's the dynamic duo, Eve. You and your partner. Because see, if y'all can get on the same wavelength, what can stop you? See? And see, brother, family, you don't understand is that anything your woman wants you to have, you will get it. It's just the way life is. And that's why a lot of brothers, in a sense, who got baby mamas and don't take care, don't pay child support, that's why they ain't got shit. That's why they don't go nowhere. Because they got their baby mama and they got their kids not wanting them to have anything because they didn't give them anything. See? And so then you have to look at this and you see, like when I was I wrote my dissertation on the education of people in prison, and you'd be surprised that these guys will be in jail. They might have 6 or 7 babies, about 6 or 7 different baby mamas, and so you got this thing, and then what made it so bad? It's not so bad now. What made it so bad is that it was brothers getting in their 50s. And they was and them and their girlfriends, the baby mamas was trying to raise their kids up to be disciples and be Blackstone Rangers. All they did, like, get the hell out of here. You can see somebody 50 years old, got their pants sagging and shit, and some dirty drawers. You see the mark on the back of their drawers. Yeah, folks. Hey, folks, get the hell out of here. I ain't no folks. That's what the disciples say. The disciples, because we lived in a disciple neighborhood, or supposed in the disciple set. So you be getting in your car. Hey, folks, I ain't folks. But then it was some people around at that time, and they in their 50s still trying to gang bang in Chicago. So it's very interesting. But this whole idea of the roach, the whole idea of the roach is very, very, very interesting. I mean, just to think that a roach can live through a nuclear bomb explosion. That is some powerful stuff, baby. That is powerful. That is powerful. But then to look at us, is that back in the 50s, when they did these tests, a lot of tests was done on black soldiers. You see, and most of them didn't die of radiation poisoning. That's why they don't want to use a nuclear bomb, because they know the only people be left on the planet Earth is the Negro. What?
I love the science that they try to hide. And then I love when we are able to expose the inconsistencies, because really it only takes, to me, it just to, no, I'm just playing. It's just a little bit of information that, most of us need, that's like a missing link. And then from there, um, you know, we don't have to accept their definition of anything. You just said maybe 10 minutes ago that 200,000 plus 200,000 plus, let's just say 200,000, the trifecta, right? 600,000. Never in any of their stories did they say that they came over in that many, in those quantities. So if the working class, the slave class, the labor class has always had them by a couple 100,000,
Right.
you would, that math would just extend to today, but
Right.
we're not thinking about it. Dr. Winters, we don't have the time to think about it unless they join us on Wednesdays, or join you on Thursday, or join you on Sunday. Then they will. But if they don't,
But you have to understand that it's not an interest. It's not an interest of raccoons. It's not an interest of raccoons to really want to do that. Because see, you have to understand is that it is, just think about this. I want you to just open up your mind. See, this is the only country. This is the only country on earth where we have a black literature. All these books written about black people, all these heroes that we can look up to. We're the only, and just think about that is unique. That's unique. A lot of times Tariq like to argue with these with a lot of tethers, and then and his biggest thing now is to start saying, what is your culture? See, they ask us what our culture is. We can say what our culture is. They say, what is your culture? They can't answer. Who are your internationally known heroes? They can't answer. Even though Tariq got that from looking at my shows, he never wants to mention me, but he always steal my shit. But the whole point is this: is that yes, it is. I have a frown too.
No, I'm sad that we're still, Tariq, what are you doing? But okay,
yeah. But see, he has to do that. He has to do that because see, that gives him relevance. That gives him relevance in a sense. And I love the fact that he's a leader but not a leader. And see, that's the beauty of it is that he's done three things to really to me to further the race. Number one, he took Claude Anderson's Native Americans and turned it into FBA. You see, number two, he began the delineation movement. Number three, he's highlighted the fact, even though I was on Reverend Matthews talking about that American culture was black culture, he's even taken my idea and now he teaches the people that American culture is black culture. And so then the thing is this, so that's the way it's always been. So I'm a happy brother and a happy camper. Because see, the point is this is that you have to still be happy when you see people pushing forward ideas that help the people, that help stimulate thought. You see, that help in a sense allow us to situate ourselves. And see, that's what makes things so scary. See, you're a scary woman. You're a scary woman, Eve. And the reason that you're scary is because the fact, in the sense, is that you dare to have the nerve to be ready to say what you want to talk about. See, most people, in a sense, they feel that a liberated woman is a woman who can talk about, having sex and being free love and all that. No, that's not a liberated woman. A liberated woman is a woman who can express all of her feelings. And the average woman, all her feelings are not around sex. Now, maybe as a man, most of my feelings may be around sex, but the average woman, her feelings aren't around sex. It's not that sex that dictates her world, because the fact is this is that it's growth, it's creativity, it's building. And see, that's what women are about, building. And see, that's what makes a woman like you very scary to the average man, because the fact is this is that you want to build, you want to be progressive, you want to, in a sense, maximize. And see, this is why the European has always tried to separate black men from black women, you see? Because by separating black men from black women, then you lose your power. See, you lose your power. See, the point is this is that, people say, Dr. Winters, how could you write 50 books? That's because I was satisfied. My wife made me happy. And I didn't have to always come home, and I didn't always have to have a home, a ruckus life. But then I don't get mad at nobody. I was listening today to Megan Good, and she's on the shade, Shannon Sharp. And so she was saying that, that yeah, she got a divorce from her husband. She had been married 10 years, and they're supposed to be good Christians. But then I said that, but see, that's the whole point. See, why can't people be who the hell they are? You know what I'm saying? We always want to define people. And then she said, I got a lot out of it. I learned a lot. I still love that person. And see, that's the whole point. Love is not static. Love is dynamic, you see. See, but the thing that I think is long lasting is not so much all the time love, but friendship. Because see, love, when you're in a loving relationship, it's too many expectations.
Where were you like 2 days ago? I needed this vocabulary for this exact conversation. Because how I define things, I like people and I love people, and I might like and love you. And if I like and love you, that's like, but that's for me, because I'm choosing to want to be around you, and I have no choice about it. That's like two different things that I will put on, my special people, the minis that come from me, my man. Certain people in my family like love. Certain people that I've met like love. And then there's people that I love, have to love from a distance. And there's people that I like, yeah, it's cool to be around you. And I don't know if I want to be around you more than I am, but this time that we're spending is nice. And inside of that, people hear like, and they're like, oh, that's not good enough. That's not enough. I want, is it not love? And I get it. I'm weird. So there's lots of levels of what I was talking about.
You told me I can't use the word weird, so you can't use it either. Nah. You said I can't say we're weird, so you can't use it. Nah.
That's fair. But I understand that when I say some stuff like that, it is not the standard definition of things. So then, yeah, we're going to have to talk about it so that you get it, or whoever I'm talking to gets it. But liking, that friendship part, if I'm going to be with you long term, forever and day, we have to like each other. And it can't just be because we love that we have children, or we love our house, or, to me, love is not enough. Love is, you were born with love. You're hopefully, I hope, or you were born out of love, I hope. And then from there, you're learning that, hey, I don't like that auntie because she pinches my cheeks, not because she doesn't love me or I don't love her, but man, she pinches my cheeks when I see her, and I just, I hate that woman. But you really don't, you're 4 and this lady.
What about when you're a baby and everybody want to suck on your jaws? What the hell is this? Everybody want to suck on the baby's jaws. Wow. Just think about how that baby feels.
The baby's like, hey, okay. No, babies love that. I've never met a baby that doesn't like to be loved on unless they're not used to it. Babies who are not used to being held or touched or paid attention to, they do have issues, but most babies are very happy for the attention and they want you to love on them. And then, then you grow up and you're like, wait a minute, nope. Auntie Deneen with the heavy perfume, and she'd be pinching on my cheeks. I don't like it. I don't want to. I don't want to hug her, and then you go give your auntie a hug. It's like, fine,
My wife, she did not like her father. Always twist. Hey, he had a way to. She did not like it, but that was his way of showing affection. But it's always these little things. I'm gonna show a few brands for a while. few commercials. So let's take a little slight break. Hey, I've just written a new book, History and Culture of the Black Aboriginals of America. Yes, I've written a new book. This book is called History and Culture of Afro-Americans. It's about the Aboriginal Americans. It's about the first people who inhabited America. Many people don't know about our great culture, this super culture that we created, but I discuss this book. In 489 pages, you'll find out so much information, great information, about, in a sense, what the Aboriginal foundational Black Americans did. You're going to see, in a sense, that Black people contributed much here. When the first Europeans got here, that's what they found. Yes, they found Black Aboriginals inhabiting the Americas. It was the Black Aboriginals that built this country. This is why you had to get my book. Get my book, History and Culture of the Aboriginal Blacks of the Americas. In this book, you will find out the truth. You will know what we created. You will know who we are. Get this book. Buy it now.
What's up, everybody? It's Eve. Follow me on Twitter and YouTube for space recordings and special live programs. 2024, we're doing things a little different if you haven't peeped game by now. So yeah, this is your chance. You can do it now if you want. Hit the bell here on YouTube at JustEveB, or find me on X at Justice4Just Us. That's JUSTICE, 4 JUST_US. And if you feel so inclined, support my channel and the work we do over here. The Cash App and Patreon links are in the description. Black first.
Buy my book, Atlantis in Mexico. In Atlantis in Mexico, you will learn about the great Olmec civilization of Mexico. Yes, the Olmec civilization of Mexico. In this book, I tell you about how it was the Olmecs who invented the calendar that are used by the Maya today. It is the Olmecs who are the mother culture of Mexico. Buy my book, Atlantis in Mexico. Learn about the Olmecs. Learn about their civilization. Learn about the wonders that they left the Mexican people. You can purchase my book at Amazon.com.
Supplemental learning for your mini. But you can learn too. Don't send your mini into the belly of the beast unarmed. Courses, practical math, language, the code, our story and more. An institution founded by us, dedicated to us and our fight for justice. Here you will learn ways to combat the system using the same information they are trying to keep away from you. Welcome to FBA Sunday School.
Buy my book, Blacks in Europe. This is one of the most important books that you'll find on the market today. In this book, I discuss the rise of Black people in Europe. I have a special section on the so-called Baradineks. The Baradineks are the Black people that formerly lived in Britain who were sold into chattel slavery in the 13 colonies and in the Caribbean. Buy this book, Blacks in Europe. You can get this book at Amazon.com. Buy this book today. Learn about the Black nationalities that lived in Europe. learn that Europe was once a black continent. Buy my new book.
Touch your heart with a dinner rose. Shake the spirit one time, it gets old. She gon' take me out of space into another zone. Free spirit, she ain't messing with them petty hoes. Microwaves and cobalt us out of phone. Smoking in that vibe, smoking good on that drone. Call me eating out with the cuz all up in a fro. This queen approach, she gon' drop it low to the flow. You know she liquid gold with the alchemy in the bowl. Trippy super soda's the greatest tale never told. She gon' get you right, you can set up a point of goals. You gon' spend the night in the harmon out with your toes. You know she's super fun and the aura down to her bones. Super magic fairy on lost in the rituals. She give me life like butterflies on the rose. Really rich and old, ain't nothing like cracker trolls. Sitting in the clothes, an extraterrestrial. And she never fold, trap crackers up in the throat. She drink your wine, she rock you up like a pole. And she spark my mind with intellectual pose. Shake butter oils and linger up in your nose. Independent goddess like rhythm up in the soul.
Yellow honey, drip slow, sweet agave, at the toe. Independent finance, wine, citrus mist. My Wonder Woman, I wonder how to.
Buy my book, Nationality and the Law. In this book, we discuss the importance of race and identity among many African Americans. I explore the genesis of the so-called blacks from an ethnogenesis of Black Irish, Black Aboriginals, and Sub-Saharan Africans. In this book, you will understand how they were separated into two races and why we call, in a sense, the Caucasian race the white race today. Buy my book, The Nationality and the Law. You'll enjoy it. Very much.
at the times of ancient lore. Metaphysical keys to unlock the door. A book written by Jennifer Sword, with the guided visions of Yoshimo. Ancient black spirituality, galactic celestial symphony, cosmic melanated energy, the spirits are within me, our history. Ancient black spirituality, galactic celestial symphony, cosmic melanated energy, the spirits are within me, our history.
Supplemental learning for your mini. But you can learn too. Don't send your mini into the belly of the beast unarmed. Courses, practical math, language, the code, our story and more. An institution founded by us, dedicated to us and our fight for justice. Here you will learn ways to combat the system using the same information they are trying to keep away from you. Welcome to FBA Sunday School.
Buy my book, Blacks in Europe. This is one of the most important books that you'll find on the market today. In this book, I discuss the rise of Black people in Europe. I have a special section on the so-called Borodineks. The Borodineks are the Black people that formerly lived in Britain who were sold into chattel slavery in the 13 colonies and in the Caribbean. Buy this book, Blacks in Europe. You can get this book at Amazon.com. Buy this book today. Learn about the Black nationalities that lived in Europe. Learn that Europe was once a Black continent. Buy my new book.
I'm here to help, trauma stored in the body. Hit me, can you help? They walking around with a head nobody. Created this platform to teach and bring forth master teaching to lift our community and banish all the leechers. We ain't a dot or a nickel. It grew, never grow. The thinker who thinks the thought, let the masses know. We are the first and maybe the last. One with nature, not a sin against nature. Looking sad. I lost my mom and my dad looking bad, cooking chicken. When they got me a mask because being broke didn't fit. It's never too late, you part of the greats. Let me rub off on you. Just remember it ain't your fault. I can give you all the tools. Nothing is wrong with Black people. Something happened to Black people. Nothing is wrong with Black people. Something happened to Black people. Africana phenomenologist, comedic scientist, digital was creation, metamorphosis, epigenetics, diginomics, earth frequency of oneness, FBA, no religion, I'm a vision. Nothing is wrong with Black people. Something happened to Black people. Nothing is wrong with Black people. Something happened to Black people. Africana phenomenologist, comedic scientist, digital was creation, metamorphosis, epigenetics, diginomics, first frequency of oneness, FBA, no religion, I'm a vision.
What does that look like for you? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you tired of complaining about white folks? Are you tired of complaining about Black people?
I am one with first frequency, one with the first God idea. I am one with the first born people. I am one with the only one. Ashe, and so it is. I am one with first frequency, one with the first God idea. I am one with the first born people. I am one with the only one. Ashe, and so it is. I am one with first frequency, one with the first thought idea. I am one with the first one people. I am one with the only one. Ashe, and so it is. I am one with first frequency, one with the first thought idea. I am one with the first one people. I am one with the only one. Ashe, and so it is. Nothing is wrong with black people. Something happened to black people. Nothing is wrong with black people. Something happened to black people. Africana phenomenologist, comedic scientist, digital web creation, metamorphosis, epigenetics, diginomics, first frequency of oneness. If he ain't no religion, I'm a vision. Nothing is wrong with black people. Something happened to black people. Nothing is wrong with black people. Something happened to black people. Rev Shock. Rev Shock. Rev Shock.
Nothing.
Genuinely speaking, I use it literally every day. Grammarly is a must-have desktop app to help you with productivity and improving your grades. This semester I have a discussion post for almost every class, and before I submit my discussion post, I always run it through Grammarly, and it just makes my
You see, nothing. The problem is, in the sense, is that sometimes we refuse to accept who and what we are, you see. And that's what makes it so important that we understand. That video was made by Yoshimar the Genius. Yoshimar is a genius. Support this brother. Go and support his Patreon. Allow this brother, in a sense, to give you knowledge. Allow this brother to share with you the love that he has. Like,
I'm out the ocean and I may be hollow. At any given time, I may be followed. I'm out the ocean and I may be hollow. At any given time, I may be followed. I'm out the ocean and I may be hollow. At any given time, I may be followed. I'm out the ocean and I may be hollow. At any given time, I may die. What's the that you don't want me to say? I've been big on my listen to me. Sometimes I feel like the living I made. On my grandmother within the maid. Leave me behind it and let me astray. What is the truth that was going on with me? Told me be cool and just have a nice day. Some things are just easy to say. Wish I could stop me from pain. Don't have no food and they swimming no man. Out in the ocean away from the bay. I've been drifting a lot far away. I went up in to keep them away. See what you see, but I just cannot stay. Force me to lane and they want me to drink. Can't do the crime, that don't suit me. Mine unfortunately, ain't my sorrows. So many follow, sleeping in hollow. Bringing the idol, listen to Carlo. Living to borrow, living to borrow. Living to call home, shooting a hollow. Shooting a kernel, pop out the kernel. Zooming out your look bounce in the eye. All known, seeing me in the pyramid. Hey, they say me get that is affirmative. I looked at me, kept the hook to the ring. She let the color quiz, that's what the mission is. We are the guinea pigs. Music for feeling it. Tired of the silliness. No longer feeling it. Killing what killing it. Feeling like feeling it. Swimming this message off of the shore into the abyss. Deep in, I'm in ocean and I may be hollow. At any given time, I may be followed. And I may be hollow. At any given time, I may be followed. I'm out the ocean and I may be hollow. At any given time, I may be followed. I'm out the ocean and I may be any given time, I may die. Works of a genie, what a fiend, take you to Feeny. How would they see me? Fuzzy bikinis, nothing but weenies. Wearing a beanie, feeling bikini. Changing the scenery, changing the scenery. Summing your misery, so many lies of me. Probably got you on TV, believe me. Pulling your memories, killing the name. They never just admit that they got me. Machiavelli could have never been sloppy. We can see it's nothing but copies. Listen, cook up in that lobby. Billie Holiday just was a body. George Clinton committed them robberies. It seems he went for the lottery. This all falls in one category. We all call it a mystery. I'm a villain you all see. They glory to those who all see. Pendergrass set up like Eddie Murphy. No car crash, they just hating on me. Gotta make a comeback like Bill Cosby. Kobe Bryant playing conspiracy. Get me back for taking a knee. But they just be canning me. Like in my turban, hit when I'm swerving. Like those curses, if I never curved in. More laceration, installation, no motivation. Straight elimination, your animation, alienation, annihilation. All for the taking, taking like taking. Omen faking, us first nation. Who you saving? Change like Raven, send me David. Had to shake 'em, moving brave on how you craving. Even Jaden saving, Taylor paving. I'm misbehaving, we didn't break before we drown in the water. Got a deep dive. I'm in the ocean and I may be hollow. At any given time, I may be followed. I'm out the ocean and I may time, my baby follow. I'm on the ocean and my baby hollow. Any given time, my baby. I'm on the ocean and my baby hollow. Any given time, my baby always one who justified rain. Came from the cave, made from the maid, created the slave. Step out of water, fiction is harder. Why do they bother? Over my head, first I got daughter. Same boat, same pay, only in slaughter. Still throw jet bro, same as a father. Justify life, should it be harder? On my nation, these things water. See how they come, all as one. Force me to gun, force me to the slum. Live up the crumb, father's son. Message beyond, live as one. Betraying the none, speak for the young. Nobody's dumb, maybe just some of the young. Maverick approach, truth by Yojo. And the kind will grow, just as the Oko came off the old phone. E-I-E-I-O-E-O song. Turning the wheel until it's all gone. Gotta go deeper, dive with the people. Some turn lethal, neighbors is evil. Go from the right, give up the pain. No human right, kill them on sight. Many despair, many beware. I see that I'm there, I see that I'm here. Ready with flash, calling all bad. Our genders are here, we the illusion, not disappear. As hard as my chin, deep dive. I'm a illusion and my baby hollow. At any given time, my baby follow. I'm out the ocean and my baby hollow. At any given time, my baby follow. I'm out the ocean and my baby hollow. At any given time, my baby follow. And I may be hollow. At any given time, I may die.
Yoshi Mod, the genius. Yoshi Mod, the genius. Yoshi Mod, he makes the videos that make you want to think. He makes the videos in the sense that make you understand what reality is all about. This is what it's about, baby. You got to follow Yoshi Mod.
What gathered is a revelation by God through
Religion is not for black folks, only the truth. Don't let the non-believer distract me from you. No, only for you by you. No UFO, only for you by you. I'm in heaven, no need for religion. Catholic, Christian, church, a big business. Folk tales make the hide our origin. Therefore, Yoshi reborn again. Back in the day, I was known as God. Don't respect they father, so I sent them back to the waters of none, of none. We made it through the Mahapa. My ancestors call like war. You seen, I saw. Small legs now, giant chainsaw. NTR, nectar. You must protect her. Undefeatable, resilient frequency in this universe is them against you and me. I am one with the first frequency. I am one with the first idea. I am one with the firstborn people. I am one with the only one. Ashe, and so it is. You are the thinker that makes the thought a thing. Meditate and come chill amongst kings and queens. America has failed. I feel rejected, betrayed, and jailed. Too quick, too soon, too often. Toxic stress take you to the coffin. Intergenerational trauma made us have sex with our own fucking mama. That's cruel. Me, rape me, cook me up and eat me. Use me as a sacrifice. Mighty parts and souvenirs that ain't right. It's all because they heard of who we are. Hitler and Einstein knew we was God. I equals square mental evasion. Pick up the Niger for this equation. Tragic, I'm a equals zero. Equals zero. Equals zero. At the end of the physical, I am the hero. Spiritual essence equals zero. I never change, remain the same. My respect for nature and my brain. The Black American experience is the most traumatizing experience that any other human has ever experienced. PTSS, RBTSIV, B68, HF, and RBF. Racial battle fatigue. How many times was my family wept because they can't see? offer us help. And I see us saying, Master help. Imposter syndrome, their nature's they never wanted to make us, wanted our wealth. Lazy, pathetic, inbred. Criminals, murderers, half-dead. Straight out the ice age on another masquerade. With one purpose to divide and conquer. Most of us come from a sunken place. Shadow work will return us back in shape. Back then, even now, they still a best. And I upgraded and I remain the best of best. Can't keep us from thinking. On the cool, we let they ship sinking. No religion, sex addiction, food addiction, death addiction, substance, self-help addiction. We're trying to feel and what's missing. Our history, or maybe I'm tripping. All I know is that boy Jesus was fiction. If it ain't, then call him Haru. If it ain't said again, it's Haru. I know who I am, so who are you? Shabbat carved in stone came true. Scientific facts I made up like you. White folks was invented as a matter of law. Divide and conquer humanity. Protect and ensure the interests of the 1%. From abundance, loyal to a person who's destructive. Kill anything who disrupted. Kill us, they beat us, slash us in public. Behind closed doors, he was kissing and hugging. And if a baby come born into slavery, till his days are done. Mixed breed born to be dumb. Rape me just for fun. Rape me just to come. Pleasure Island. You wonder why you men and feminine. They used to butt break the biggest and baddest men. Well known all over the islands. Queerish ways got you acting childish. Correct me if I'm wrong and I'm lying. Babies don't come out of butts while you trying. I can't think of a reason to try it. Like cigarettes, you force yourself to like it. Chosen color men who study alchemy. Understand this is not African history. This is something created with crossbreeding. Neanderthal ways, their species. Even the 8 folks who came from trees. Walking upright, everybody full of fleas. Understood I am for you and you for me. I'm a city track that's coming back. That's it. My time on earth can't quit. 919, I am lit. Think a drive said fine, that's lit. Create life, no artificial mix. Men getting pregnant shouldn't exist. No offense to other races, but this is for my ancient Egyptians. Oh.
God came out and said, well, you know, before a blessing comes out, you gotta taste, some difficulty so you can appreciate the blessing. After that experience, you will be redeemed as the chosen race. So what God did was reveal this God order called Dagger.
You have to support Yoshi Mod. You got to support this man. This man is the most creative genius alive in the FBA community. You have to support Yoshi Mod.
You have to do this alone. Let's go with saying, that information has been infiltrated. You have to do this on your own, but you're not alone. You're not alone. I say you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. I'm with you on this one. infiltrated. That's what I'm saying. You have to do this on your own. My information has been infiltrated. And we must do this alone. But you're not on your own. Jig is up. Time up. Make us switch up. Time up. Jig is up. Time up. Make us switch up. Time, yeah. The jig is up. Time now. Make us switch up. Kinda. The jig is up. Time's up. Time to switch up. Time to switch up. Give me totals how to die and come back. Oh, make totals do when we come back. Hear what I say? Me, no disrespect. But I see something wrong with this dialect. Teach us the knowledge to move on. Start repeating old same sad song. We the make you because I'ma put us on. If you afraid to evolve, you can move on. Ain't no time for no backtrack. I don't know, it's the ultimate payback. With my popcorn and my view, you think they watching me? They're watching you. Time to write a new script for a baby. But you stuck on Bill Gates going crazy. He ain't in my peripheral. Something wrong when you have no control over your damn self. Can't teach wealth if you are against wealth. Ain't no shortcuts over here. Soon as you get it, it all disappears. Ain't no such thing as fast money. If you in the spirit of slow honey, it's good to know the history. Pardon me, so I pledge allegiance. Here while I'm breathing, that I don't get involved with all the scheming. I'm saying I'm leaving for this here reason. You don't see what's beyond what you so-called the truth. My information has been infiltrated. Yeah, you have to do this alone. That's what we're saying. Yeah, the information has been infiltrated. Yeah, you have to do this on your own. But you're not alone. I'm saying not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. I'm with you, boy. See, you're not alone. I'm with you, boy. Information has been infiltrated. That's what I'm saying. You have to do this on your own. My information has been infiltrated. And we must do this alone. But you're not on your own. Jig is up. Time up. Make us switch up. Time up. Jig is up. Time up. Make us switch up. Time, yeah. The jig is up. Time to make us switch up. Kinda. The jig is up. Time's up. Time to switch up. Time to switch up.
This is a message to the B1 community. It's time to switch up. You know what I'm saying?
You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. You have to stand up. You have to speak out. Yoshima the genius. Go to Gumroad. Go to Gumroad. Support this brother because Yoshima the genius is so creative. He is the most creative genius that exists today in the foundational Black American community. Support this brother. Give this brother, go to his website. Go to, in a sense, support him on YouTube. Support. Well, he says he has a lot of support on TikTok. I don't understand TikTok, so I mean, but he has a lot of support. So again, supporting this creativity has to be shared, and he's there to share it with you. So support the brother.
Definitely support Yoshi. He makes all the bops. I love Yoshi. He's a good dude. And there's not a lot of good people out here. It's a lot of people, not a lot of good ones though.
Yeah.
Let me scratch that. There's a few good people. Yoshi is I think he's bigger than that. So
whenever I pray, I always say, God, protect me from my enemies, seen and unseen, and always protect the good people. I got to throw that in. But then I also got to pray. Years ago, I was I was after my favorite principal was died, I had a principal come in, and this woman, she hated me. She hated me, and I put salt in my door, and I put salt at her door so maybe holding that evil in a sense, but it didn't stop her. And but I said to myself, I said, I don't know this woman. This is the first time I ever met her, but you know what I did? I prayed. I said, please God, allow me have those. Please God, have those people I heard in other incarnations, have them forgive me, and I want to forgive them, because see, I don't know who I effed over in other incarnations. I was white at the time. I may have been a plantation owner. Get over here, nigga. or I may have did something in ancient times. Maybe. I don't know all the incarnations. My wife before she died, she said, Clyde. I said, what? She said, I closed my eyes the other day and I saw us over in Italy. And she said, I'm your mistress. I said, damn, well, I wish I was him. He's still young. And so you have so many incarnations. You don't know who you messed over. So, I mean, hey, so few of us want to come into the prison planet. So, I mean, I got to pray. I don't know who I effed over. I don't think I messed over anybody in this incarnation, but I don't know what I did in those other ones, Dun, dun, dun.
That's a very big thought. It's these big thoughts that people shy away from that I find that I like having these conversations, because it's like aliens, or don't use aliens if there's evidence that I just don't know about. It's the things that don't matter. I was talking with a friend years ago, and we were talking about aliens, and they were saying that they couldn't go to sleep at night sometimes because they don't know what's out there. And I'm like, oh, wow. You're afraid of space? Do you know what's in the ocean? And I wasn't trying to freak them out even more, but that freaks me out. And I'm a person who very much loves going to the beach and being in water and stuff. And then I'll go freak myself out watching these reels of the unknown things in the ocean, or how large things are in the ocean, and people are afraid of space, and we've got things here that we don't even have a clue, and talk about roaches. And
there's many parts of the United States that haven't even been explored. They mapped them from aerial maps, but they haven't went inside of it. We don't know what's there. We don't know the powers that there. We don't know anything, but the thing is that I understand is that this is my incarnation. I'm going to be black, so I'm going to be blackety black. I'm going to be the best black man you can ever feel. I feel in one of my last when I was produced was maybe during World War II. I used to have this dream, and I would have a carbine. A carbine is it's an automatic rifle, and I would go up these stairs, and I never came down. And I dreamt that a lot when I was getting into my 50s. So I felt that I may have died in one of my last incarnations. I may have died in France, because I used to love French. And I used to speak French beautiful. I can't speak it beautiful now because I got French, Swahili, Chinese, Tamil, Yucatec. I got so much mixed up in my brain, I can't get that accent, But so I feel that during World War II, I may have died, going to the steps, and didn't come back down. And so that's why I know that I'm a universal man. You're a universal woman. This is probably not your first incarnation, Eve, but I mean, I'm going to be the best black man that exists. You see, over there my wife said I'm in Italy with her. I'm going to be the best lover in the world in Italy. Baby, she is my mistress, so we will have plenty of good, loving time. But now I had to play that old nigga. Oh, Local Clyde, down by the by, oh, near Lake Michigan.
That's funny.
My daughter, real quick, don't lose that idea. I told my daughter, I said, you was my mother in one lifetime, because you're always trying to boss me. But I said, baby, I'm the dad this time. I'm your pop. I'm the boss. So you're not making me do nothing. And I know you wish you could whip my ass again, but I'm the one doing the ass whipping. No. You want to always boss
on the other foot this time, buddy.
She do want to always boss me, but I mean, hey, we don't know. I mean, hey, you who knows? You may have been one of my wives, or you may have been my auntie. I don't know. In this incarnate, because see, Sylvia Brown, she said that on the other side, we live in hostels, and and in these hostels, it might be about 2,000 or 3,000 people, and we interact with those people when we come on this plane. That's why a lot of times you say, "I know him, I know her." Right. I don't know why, but I know
where
you.
I know you from, but yeah.
I know you. And that's because of the fact that a lot of times we interact with people that we interact with in our hostel on the other side. But I mean, hey, this is an experience, and you got to go through this life. You got to go through this. And so then that's the whole point. But this is it. Family, the reason I love Wednesday is that on Wednesday, Eve gives me an idea, and she gives me something to think about. And that's something that I hope that you guys think about, some of the things that we talk about too, you see. Because the whole point is this, is that, we could always be talking about politics. We could be talking about, Biden and not going to last, not going to make it. Maybe you should choose the couch, or you can choose Republican, Democrat. But why talk about that ish? Yes, we would probably get more views, but the point is this, is that why not talk about what we want to talk about? Why not talk about the things, in a sense, that are really on our mind? Politics isn't always on our mind. Black and white issues are not always on our mind. I'm sorry.
No, you're right though. And that's the beauty of it all, because me and a lot of us, we are so deep. We are a deep people, and our conversations on Wednesday have much to do about none of that stuff, as much as we can make a connection to it. I think intelligent people, or critically thinking people who have time to have some thoughts, can make a connection between something benign, like the Truman Show, and, what we're going through, or the fact that, roaches are this bad stigma stereotype associated with filth. But then why are we accepting such stereotypes? We're not the ones who made us run out of toilet paper and Lysol during the experimental times. We're also not the people who were laying with animals and causing all sorts of transmittable diseases. If I remember history correctly, because I'd like to think I've been here 1 or 2 times before, there is a whole lady doctor nurse out here who wasn't washing her hands and giving out all sorts. Typhoid Mary. I'm talking about Typhoid Mary. She didn't wash her hands. They had to make her
refused.
Just nasty.
Yeah.
And I think last time we talked about people using washcloths, and just how strange of behaviors you might have grown up with or seen. White parents saying, "Oh, it was a pool day today, so we're not taking a bath." Or we were at the beach all day. No, you better go wash your sandy ass just for just to get the grit out.
Right.
What are we doing? And then I think about the fact that you said that we recharge in the sun. It gives us
synthesis.
An additional. It's the frequencies that Dora Bell was talking about. I think it was Dora Bell, or it might have been Crates might have been talking about it, but they were saying that, this nasty pest-like behavior and mentality is second frequency, dark world type stuff. And I mean, maybe, but if the roach has a longer history than that, then, maybe things have purpose. And then when they don't like the purpose, or they can't use it to our detriment, then they will toss it aside or make it negative so that we won't use it. If there's a better way to do things, then I think we might have already figured it out, but then our history was interrupted. So even though we've already figured it out, we got to do it all over again. So maybe some of these people, you don't believe that we can come back as like a fly or an animal, we would come back as a people. But maybe people who aren't on first frequencies do come back as other things because they're not on the same frequency. Like I hear what you said. Maybe it was one of them people back then. I don't even think you could do that because when you call on your ancestors, you know, you calling on where you come from, and that would be all the different times you've been here. At least that's my belief. You know,
but as a man, and this woman, you know, Miss Anderson, the way she just hated me so much, I had to have done something to her.
You did right.
As a man, I know that in a sense I may have been in Pakistan and I may have been a you know, a very cruel person, you know, or I may have been very sexist. I may have been
black or was she white?
You know, I may have been just mean. You know,
No,
I don't know.
She was black or white?
She was black. She was an principal that I had. And you know,
I hear what you're saying. Sometimes people, their vendetta against us is so personal, and it's like, well, whoa, wait a minute. Like this is our first time having any sort of but some people, their spirit rubs you the wrong way, and not because you got a bad spirit, but because of what's going on with them. You know,
but not just that, but it's what may have occurred in an earlier life.
Right.
You see, I think I got along with many people in an earlier life, but her, it seemed as though she just had this empathy against me. And the thing is this, that I just prayed really hard to God, you know, please, you know, help. Cause I don't know who I messed over, you know. I mean, when I was growing up, I thought I was a pretty boy. And because I thought I was a pretty boy and I thought I could have any girl I wanted, I could make any. I could
probably asked for her number and forgot about her, and then she saw you.
Maybe I did.
I remember you asked me for my number, and you said that if you just got it, you would XYZ, and you was like, "All right, yeah," and then you boop checked it off the list. Move on to the next one.
I will not lie. When I was a teenager, I used to have my little black book, and I would ride the train, and I would put numbers in it because, you know. Remember, I don't know. See, you went to a Catholic school. Since I went to a black high school, lunchtime was the best, but also the most terrible time of the day because then people in there want to talk about your mama, your granny grip, and the thing is this: they want to make you cry. Like I was always a rapper. I would say, Jack, be quick. Your mama, she's full of shit. Hey. Jack and Jill went up the hill to kick your mama. They fell down and then they said, and on their knees, you gotta. So, you know, but lunchtime was terrible.
Sounds like
it was fun, but it was terrible. Yeah, because at lunchtime in high school, people talking, you know, I was talking to my grandson a few weeks ago. I said, did y'all do that in high school? Yep. So, you know, in high school, you talk about other people and you can't show it. You got upset and you can't show that they won. And, you know, you be crying inside, you know, but the thing is this is that you got to still stand tall and smile up, you know.
See, and that's the beauty of us. You know, we've been playing the dozens for a long time. You know, now people, they got all sorts of different terms for it now. You know, they will we talked about this. They whitewash everything. If blacks don't get it together and claim our stuff, delineate, you know, lay claim to the power in naming things and put things in an appropriate context, then we will forever be subjugated by their definitions of things. And that math is never going to math to me, especially when the evidence shows that there have been better ways. And then when we were on commercial break, I kept thinking about the song. I don't know if you heard it, the Cucaracha, La Cucaracha.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know why I didn't think about it before now, but when we were on commercial break, I was just thinking about it. I'm like, what does that mean? And then I looked up the meaning of the song, and it's like, it's, you know, all the nursery rhymes have a dark, weird, bad juju with it, right? So then this song is about the cockroach can't walk anymore because it's lacking, because it doesn't have marijuana smoke. The cockroach just died. Now they take her to be buried among buzzards and a mouse as the sexton. And I'm just like, wait a minute. That just sounds like some black people. This just sounds like they were trying to associate bad with us in the 1900s because they don't have marijuana to smoke. Okay, George Washington and them grew hemp and marijuana. It's not, that plant doesn't have the history that they want to put on it the way that they're trying to erase the stigma. So if they can erase stigmas for themselves, they can go into the marijuana industry and distribute and manufacture. But, Ray on the corner got in trouble for some weed and he can't, he's barred from, he can't vote either because he's been institutionalized in that way. And it just brings me back full circle. Some of the stuff we will have to draw a line in the sand, because if we don't, I don't want to be a people that just bitches about things, come on the internet and bitch for 7 hours about something I could do something about.
But see, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. You didn't go through the 90s. You didn't go through the 80s and 90s. And then people say, there go that black man. You black too. But they would call you a black man or a black woman because you were pro.
So like denigrating you.
They would denigrate you because you really did believe in black people. So you had these people that they got that black man. It almost made you feel like you was a thief or something, or you were an enemy of the state. Look at that black man. And and you're just trying to in a sense uplift the race. You're trying to in a sense. But man, those were some terrible times. But see, we held on, we were strong. While they was on crack, we were still thinking. And now with social media, we turning this mother out. You see, the point is this: is that this is the best time in Afro-American history, because this is the best time that we can, in a sense, we can talk about who we are. We can put out the information. We have so much access to great information and stuff like that, that it is a beautiful time. And it's a time when you can make a choice.
Yeah, I like that.
Choice.
And that's the thing. They tell us we have civil rights now and everything's equal-ish. They don't say that it's equal. They know that it's not equal. They can't say that with a straight face. That's like one thing that they will not do, because even their cousins and brothers and sisters who are not white supremacists will say, well, that's not quite right. We just got the first black president. They'll do it like that, but same stuff. And inside of our choice to do, we can, they want to make us crabs in a barrel. Crabs don't belong in a barrel, right? And then what are crabs? They are bottom feeders, scavengers. They do the same thing roaches do. And then just a final point, because I know we're probably about to finish this. Roaches in different environments cost different. They have different implications. Different understand. You'll pay $100 for a roach from the sea, but then you see that fucker in your kitchen, and you're like, no, let me pay $100 to get rid of it. So it's like,
you want to eat that crab, and but I mean, hell, and don't say nothing about catfish. That's still right. They're still bottom feeders, as you said. Mm-hmm. But the point is this: is that, and the beauty of it is that we keep on pushing. We're like the roaches. The roaches are millions of years old, and we're hundreds of years old, thousands of years old. No matter what they do, and the beauty of it is this: is that you live among people who hate you. You live among people who want to kill you. You live among people who create a race in which you're not supposed to win. And yet, through the grace and mercy of God, many of us suffer, but many of us overcome. And that is amazing to me. That is amazing to me. How can you think about it that you got a worldwide culture? The whole world's culture is dependent upon us. They run off electricity. We did that. They run off machinery. We made the machines work. We did that. They run off communication. We did the telephones and the computers. We did that. We invented them, or we made them work. And so when you think about that these little old so-called FBA, supposedly, quote unquote, only 14% of America, And yet the whole world culture is dependent on you, Eve. It's dependent on you, Eve. And when you think about that they needed you. They needed you to make the world what it is today. You are modern. You are, in a sense, modernism. You are progressive because it's through you and your creativity. It's through your sharing of your knowledge, involuntarily and voluntarily, that allowed the world to operate. If you want to summarize this week's show?
I just, Roach Resilience, I want us to, just always know that words have meanings, the spelling matters, and we will continue to get stronger if we define, and then because they will use our definitions. That's what you were just talking about. Anything that we've done, if they can capitalize off it, benefit from it, meritorious manumission it if you have to. That's the broken tools aspect of it all. They will do it. And when we start reclaiming our time, right? They took that too. When we start taking our stuff back, they can't help but fall in line because they don't want to come up. They don't want to do head to head, one-on-one with us. That's why they try to tell us that we scurry. We run away from fight. No, we don't. That's not your story, y'all. We got to take off that shit. Be resilient. But if we're gonna be Roach, like, just keep it for when they drop the bomb, and then we're still here. Like, let's put that to the side if they ever hit the red button.
Yeah, because see, they want to go. They want to go. They want to go back underground.
Mm-hmm.
And because I think they feel comfortable. They've got cities underground that they're not going to let us come into. But you know what? I don't want to be down there with you. So
I like how I change color in the summer. I love not burning, and I love not lathering my babies up with chemicals, because they tried to tell us that, well, blacks get skin cancer too, and okay, your skin is an organ that you should take care of, same as the rest of your body. But niggas was not dying from skin cancer on the plantations. They gotta miss me with that. Nor were we dying from skin cancer building damn pyramids.
On the beach.
Miss me with that too.
Yeah. But again, in a sense, thank you for another great show.
Thank you.
You guys, thank you, family. Thank you for showing up. And if you don't want to stand up, support the ones who do.
Right.
If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. Vampires, they prey on your future and they stay away. Vampires, they prey on your fears, control your atmosphere. Don't let them take your energy. Don't let them take control your atmosphere. I am you, control your atmosphere. Don't let them take your energy. Don't let them suck your energy. It's a distraction away from me. I am you and you are me. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do.